get a huge response. The last time Jan Szilagyi was in, he's with Reflexivity, degrees out of Yale, okay, and then Ken Rogoff at Harvard, okay. Did you predict Yale would whoop Harvard in football? Did Reflexivity see that coming?
Of course, we knew that it was going to be the fourth victory in a row. It's just one of those things we actually use.
Nailed it. I want to get this out of the way. You don't have any relationship with George Soros in his comment, in his themes of reflexivity.
No, other than the fact that we both come of Hungarian heritage, none.
Okay, fine. Nice. Let's get, the AI story is moving so fast. Let's just do a 60,000-foot question. Where are we in 90 days with Gemini 5 and Anthropic 6.2 in that? Where are we in 90 days, Jan?
I think that's the right horizon to think about because, yes, you're right. I think time has really been compressed. And what I would say is over a 90-day horizon, what we're mostly seeing really is not only are the tools getting better, but people who are using them are getting more used to how to use them. I think initially the use of these was quite trivial, kind of like amplified search. I think we're asking more and more of it. Analyze things, try to find the right data and so on. So I think both the user and the tech are getting better.
What are your clients using it for? What are the traders using it for that you guys work with?
Really what we've enabled with Reflexivity to do, and our clients are primarily hedge funds, is to look at every market event through a data lens, which previously was hard to do, right? You would need to download data, try to do the analysis. It was time consuming. Right now, you can do a lot of these things instantly. And so unlike, for example, if you use, say, Gemini and you're doing search, you can do proper research with Reflexivity.
Example, can you give us an example?
Let's say, for example, currently we're having a hard time understanding where the economy is because of the lack of data that we haven't seen. And so what Reflexivity will be able to do is pull together some of these more, let's say, auxiliary data points, right? Things that have been coming out because they're either in the private sector or credit card data points and so on. And I think pulling that together fills in some of the missing picture.
So what's your vector tilt right now? I got Atlanta GDP now, somewhat suspect, 3.84% boom economy. I got K-shaped gloom out there, essay after essay after essay. Can you make a Fed call? Can you make a GDP call out synthesizing non-government data?
I think it's on the growth side, I would say things have slowed, but they've not collapsed, nowhere near. The Fed call is harder only because we don't know how the uncertainty is going to impact them, right? They might take the view that because they don't have the data, it's okay to wait another meeting or so. They probably won't. I think that at this stage, I think they're determined to cut rates. However, I would say on the growth side, the issue mostly is that whilst growth is slowing, inflation doesn't seem to be coming along with it nearly as fast as everybody had hoped.
How open are investors in general that you talk to, clients, potential clients, hedge funds, how open are they to embracing AI?
They are very open-minded about this because obviously it's a very competitive industry. So everybody's trying to find out, is anybody using this in a way that I'm not and I should be? But they don't often have a clear view on how they should be using it. So I think what we provide is both the technology and to an extent education.
Back to foundations on a log normal distribution, type 1, type 2 dynamics. Is reflexivity and use of AI about making money, or is it about not losing money?
That's a good way of phrasing things, and I would say it's absolutely both, because ultimately if you can prevent some really substantial losses, you ultimately make more on the year. So one of the things that, when I used to work at Duquesne with Stan Druckenmiller, one of the things that he was always paying a lot of attention to was the downside. Because so long as you didn't have any really big downside years, you could compound a very, very remarkable track record.
What about leverage? What have you, we got to run here, but what have you learned about applying AI to determine an efficacious amount of leverage if that risk is wildly nonlinear as you increase leverage?
That you certainly can do, because there are actually formulas that will do these, right? There are these various information ratios and so on, so you can use it. But I would say actually in this case, that's a lesser use of the tech rather than just putting together and pulling together a lot of information points that's much more labor intensive.
Is Meta going to participate in AI? When you look at what Facebook and Zuckerberg are doing, are they really a player in this game?
I think
I'm trying to get you in trouble here.
I think we need to give them more credit than it currently seems like people are giving them. I think that they are trying. I think they're just focusing
Right.
on certain areas that are more relevant to their business.
Yeah, and this has been great. Thank you so much. Greatly